Hello everybody, welcome back to another video here on the channel. Today we're going to be discussing the new Star Wars Tales of the Empire TV series. I'm really excited for this because Tales of the Jedi was awesome and it seems to be almost like a continuation / season 2 type thing. So, looking forward to that. Today we're going to be doing a breakdown, looking for references, Easter eggs, and some light theorizing. So, hope you enjoy and let's get started. So first off, we see Morgan Elsbeth and Grand Admiral Thrawn on top of a bridge, which I'm assuming this is the same bridge that formed a wall around the Morgan Elsbeth city in The Mandalorian. We see some Imperial Star Destroyers flying in. And then we see droids shooting out the Night Sisters. This is clearly a reference back to the Clone Wars episode Massacre, where the droid army invades Dathomir and wipes out all the Night Sisters. Clearly Morgan Elsbeth was in this battle. And then we see some of her troopers with flamethrowers scorching this forest. I'm assuming this is the planet that Morgan Elsbeth is ruling in The Mandalorian, as we can see that most of the forests there were scorched. So I'm assuming this is her conquering it, as we see her on the cliff watching this burning forest, which I'm assuming that trooper that we saw was taking part in down below. I think in this scene she might be feeling a bit of guilt for what she's doing, but she's kind of like, you know what, just like shove it to the side. So now we see her having another chat with Admiral Thrawn on that same bridge, which we can now confirm because it looks exactly the same. And here we go, it's canon. Barriss Offee is the Inquisitor from Star Wars Rebels. It's canon, it's happening. So another Miri Allen appears to be springing her from prison, taking off her handcuffs, presumably another Inquisitor. We also see 2 Empire troopers on either side of her with 2 regular standard Phase 2 clone troopers on next to the wall. So this might be in between when, like, the Bad Batch and the end of the Clone Wars, like, during, or, like, most of the Bad Batch and the end of the Clone Wars, like, during the transition where, like, not all the troopers are great, but some of them are, so. Now here we see Morgan Elsbeth training with some sickles. That'll be an interesting weapon. We haven't really seen anything like that in Star Wars yet. And then we see another scorched forest and some droids and then a Republic gunship blowing up. So I'm not too sure what that is, but I'm assuming this might be yet another, like, Morgan Elsbeth either flashback scene or her conquering her planet. And then we see her walking away from, like, a UFO-looking building with her spear. So I'm assuming she actually finds her Beskar spear in this. So I think that might be a scene in, presumably, an episode where she finds her spear, and yeah. Now we see the Grand Inquisitor leading Barriss Offee into a sort of Sith training room. This could either just be in an Imperial base, but honestly, I like to think that this is in Darth Vader's castle, because, like, the kind of hexagonal architecture and the red lines, and I think that'd be really cool that, like, Barriss Offee would train in Vader's castle. And then the Grand Inquisitor hands her a lightsaber and they begin to train, so I'm assuming that the Grand Inquisitor is going to be, like, telling Barriss Offee, like, don't hold back, that's your Jedi in you, just, like, things like that. And we see her lightsaber still glowing green, so clearly she hasn't turned to the dark side yet. And then we actually see blood dripping out of Barriss Offee's nose. This might be one of the first times we've seen blood in animated Star Wars. If this has happened before and I've never noticed, let me know in the comments below. Then we see Republic gunships, and we see the city that Morgan Elsbeth controls, but the people here, some of them look like New Republic troopers, which is kind of weird because I thought this was supposed to be happening before the original trilogy, though possibly a bit of this could be happening, like, in the same time as The Mandalorian, so maybe Morgan Elsbeth's returning to take her city back. We can also see the guy from the Mandalorian episode who helps rebuild the city after Morgan Elsbeth is defeated, so yeah, leading me to suggest that maybe this is afterwards and Morgan Elsbeth's taking things back. And then we see a ship explode, most likely killing most of those New Republic troopers. And then here we go, a duel between General Grievous and Morgan Elsbeth. We see that her sickles are like enchanted, sort of, so I feel like that's gonna be like she's gonna be using a similar magic to how she summoned that sword in the end of Ahsoka. And she's having a battle with General Grievous, so I think this is during the flashback. You can see she has like some like Night Sister, like she looks a lot more like all the other Night Sisters, so I'm wondering if it's just like face paint or if if like there's something behind that. And then we see some more droids, and then we see Barriss Offee spinning her lightsaber, so I'm assuming there's going to be like a wider training montage with her and the Grand Inquisitor from that scene earlier, and it's going to like start off with her like still somewhat a Jedi and training with the Grand Inquisitor, and then by the end she's just full on dark side, and she's got the Inquisitor lightsaber, and she's like just not holding back. And then we see her fighting a Jedi, which we don't get a good look on exactly what Jedi it is, so I thought I saw like a bit of like a ponytail coming out, so I think that might be like Kanan Jarrus or something. And then we see Barriss Offee and another Inquisitor having a duel in this ring, so I'm assuming this might be like an only one person can get the job like type thing, and like whoever survives gets to become an Inquisitor, so that'll be, I think, an interesting thing, sort of a trial, because we don't really know too much about how like the Sith recruitment system works. And then here we go, Darth Vader, and then we see that Mary Ellen, who sprung Luminara Unduli from prison, and then here we see Marrok from Ahsoka. He's the Inquisitor who seemingly survived all the original trilogy, and back here, and then also relating to Ahsoka, we see the Inquisitor from Tales of the Jedi. So this appears maybe this is either like a knighting ceremony or just like a meeting or something. So this is going to be interesting. I'm not too sure where this will fit in with the timeline, but I'm excited for it. So we see Vader and then Luminara Unduli looking at him, but we see that she almost had a samurai-type helmet in the Rebels show, so I'm assuming she dons that afterwards, like closer to the events of that series, because we just kind of see her wearing like a tight hood over her head, so yeah. And that's everything for today. Star Wars Tales of the Empire. I'm looking forward to it. You can go watch this show on Disney+. And thank you for watching, and have a good one. Ninja Wars MC out.